Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you had an amazing Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate at Christmas time. I just hope you had a happy holidays. But it's now a few days after Christmas. I had a little break, had a few videos pre-recorded, and now we're back. We're going to hop in today and we're going to rank each influencer boxing card. You know, just a little chill, just a few days of chill videos. Just till we get some news that pops up. You know, there's not much really happening in the boxing world or influencer boxing world that we really need to talk about. So let's get right in with the influencer boxing. Everything's in order of when they took place, so I know them. I won't know them off by heart or exactly the names of the cards, but we're gonna go. So these ones, I don't know what they are. I can't exactly see the pictures. It's a bit difficult, but we have roughly got them in the order that we want them in. So to start off, to do respect to the beginners, we should probably have Joe versus Theo Baker here, and that would be in GOAT, because it literally kicked off this whole scene. But without KSI versus Joe Weller, we won't be here as well. But I'm not going to put that in GOAT because it's the first event, so we're going to be strict. We're going to be very strict. KSI versus Joe Weller. Good card. Good card. Got great names on it, but the skill. We're going to go off skill, names, and I think that's it. So basically boxing ability and names. Had great names on it. Had some good names on it. Not that I can list off by heart, but I think you had JMX on it and all them. Gib fought on KSI. Did Gib fight on this one, or was Gib on the next one? I think Gib was on this one. See, for boxing ability, JJ, like Vidal said the other day, this is KSI's best skill in boxing fight. Joe kept great defense, but that's all we had for that fight. For a few punches here and there. And then the undercard, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. So we're going to put this in good. It's not perfect. It's not great. But it's not bad, and it's not really alright. It's an enjoyable card. Like, I have sat there and watched it a fair few times. I feel like if you can sit there and watch a card over and over and over again, it's a good card. It's quite enjoyable. Then we got KSI versus Logan 2. The first time we ever get to see KSI do windmills. Now, I do believe they wore headgear for this one as well, so it was kind of like an amateur fight. All of the card, I think, had headgear on for both of these, so it's like an amateur fight. So it's their beginnings. Had a few good names on this one, but not really that I can completely remember off my mind. So we're going to put this one. I mean, Logan Paul was very impressive. JJ did very well with what he had and what he had to do. So this fight, this card here, I think it's got to be better than this one. Like, the ability from this one to this one is just massively improved. So it's either great or it's high end of good. Then we had Logan Paul versus KSI 2. Now this one, I would put in doesn't count because there's only 2 influencers on this card, which is KSI, Logan Paul, and then there was another fight which had an influencer or 2 on. So this one I'm gonna say was alright. Not because the boxing ability was great, but that's because there was a lot of boxes on the undercard, and I just don't feel that this could take a really high spot because it's not an influencer aimed card. The same as Jake's though, that's the issue. Because when we come to Jake, the performance is great, but then the names and that, they're just not that big. So Paul versus Gib, once again, it's a DAZN card. It's Matchroom Boxing, sorry. I think done this one, or it was the other one. And this one was Matchroom. This is Eddie Hearn's promotion. I don't know what this one was. No, this was Eddie Hearn's promotion, yeah. This one, I don't feel it was that good. You know, we saw great ability from Jake. Gib, I don't know what Gib was doing. The undercard, I can't remember any of the undercard, and it's a very forgetful fight card. Like, a lot of people are going to say, oh, this one's better than all of these, and it probably is, but that's because there were pro boxers on it. I don't think there was any influencers on this card except these 2, so I can't really have that one. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Now, this is the one with Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. The way that the promotion held it as well, I feel like we should go off of that as well. I feel like this was terrible. Like, this is one of the worst cards. But you have huge names on it. You got Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. So we'll put it in good. We'll put it on the low end of good. Because you got the names. They're huge. The boxing ability was pretty good. Oh, it might... See, this is hard. Thinking about what my opinion should be for these is hard. Because is what am I trying to rank it off of? And I don't really know. I'm going to go off of my enjoyment of the cards. My enjoyment. My personal enjoyment. Before someone goes, you're wrong about that. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. I don't care. Paul versus Askren. Ben Askren, obviously. Before this, I do believe he retired from the UFC. He got switched out for Demetrius Johnson, I believe. They done a switch deal. So I don't remember where Ben Askren was fighting, like Bellator or something like that. And then Dana White switched him out for Demetrius Johnson, which was such a fucking dumb idea. Why Dana done that, I don't know. Bit stupid, but there you go. Now, Ben Askren's ability was terrible. Like, the build-up to the fight was better than the fight. Like, you'd sit there and watch it and be like, yeah, Ben Askren's going to beat him. Ben Askren's going to batter him. And then the fight came, and you're like, oh, actually, no, he's not. So, the card as a whole, I feel like it was run poorly as well. This is the one where they had Snoop Dogg on commentary, which very, very, very entertaining. I enjoy a bit of Snoop Dogg. Where he goes, oh, Lord, get my fucking money, Jake. I don't think it's the worst card. I know which one is going to be the worst card for me, but I don't feel like this was the worst card. I just feel that it wasn't great. I can't just be like, oh, I've got to put all Jake cards in bad, because they're not bad cards. They're just not as entertaining as certain other ones. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, yeah, you know what? It was a poor, but it was alright. It was alright. YouTubers versus TikTokers, I've got to be honest, I was not a fan of this card. Like, the only name that I actually cared about that was on this card was Gib. And Gib done exactly what he had to do. Obviously, people were like, oh, he didn't knock him out and that, and then Gib got robbed. So, this is the worst card. Worst card of all. Gib getting robbed. The event was run poorly. The management was done terribly. The judges were on crack. Fucking biased ass commentary. They were all going, oh, Taylor Holder's so good. And if you go through all the other fights, you can sit there and watch it and be like, this is the most biased commentary. And I believe the fucking woman was meant to be a boxer. And it's like, how are you sitting there sucking one of these guys off when the other one's beating the shit out of him? Yeah, worst by far. Keemstar, terrible. Never have that guy on commentary. He's just a sack of shit, doesn't know a thing about boxing. But yeah, that's the worst card by far. My God. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 1. It is a great card. The card as a whole isn't perfect, but that fight, like, if we're going just off the main events, that fight, better than that one. The way Jake handled Tyron Woodley, it was impressive because everyone was like, Tyron Woodley's going to beat him. Of course, I do believe it was a bit controversial, but Tyron Woodley, I believe, got a knockdown, but they didn't count it as a knockdown. But, you know, yeah. Tyron Woodley versus Jake 2. Again, I feel like it was just better than the first time they done it. Obviously, this was meant to be Hasim Rahman Jr., then it was meant to be Tommy Fury, and then it went back down to Woodley. Or it was Tommy, then Hasim, and then Woodley. And, yeah. This one, I actually was at it. UK versus USA. Wasabi versus Deji. Now, I'm going to say something that I probably shouldn't say. But me and my brother went to this card. We were sat in Wembley Arena, and we were like over the back. We were over the back. It wasn't hard to see anything, right? Or at all. But what happened was we were just sitting there chilling, and we noticed a lot of seats started going. And we were like, all right, we're going to sneak down there. We've come down the stairs, we've gone round, and we've gone to the toilets. We've come back through. They didn't ask to see our passes or anything like that. We just snuck through, and we got right at the front of the, not of the ring side, but right at the front of the floor seats. which they were about, I think they were like 80 quid or something, and ours were like 20. We've snuck down and we just sat at the front row. And we just sat there watching the boxing. We watched the last two. We got Kenny and Tempar, and then we saw Deji versus Wasabi in the front row. And from that front row, when you watch it, I've realised when you watch boxing in person, you sit there and it's a lot more difficult to tell who's winning, but you're like, oh, I really hope my guy won. And then obviously your mind, because if you're hoping someone wins, your mind's going to be a bit corrupted, I'd say, because you sit there and like, yeah, this guy won. And then it got announced and everyone was like, what? This ain't true. And obviously we can tell from other positions. So the way the event was held, terrible. The names and how the event like went on, I just quite enjoyed it. It was my first actual like going to a boxing event. This is the first ever boxing event I went to and I loved it. So it's not the worst card. I'm gonna say it's not really bad. It was a bit poor though. I'll put it on the low end of, or we'll put it on the high end of bad. We'll put it on the high end of bad. Great Clash 1, didn't see, honestly. I watched a bit of it. I also noticed neither of these cards I don't think are the chess boxing, and I watched the chess boxing. I thought that was quite funny. I thought chess boxing is such an interesting thing to do. Great Clash 1, I don't know. And Simple Simon versus Ed Matthews, again, I don't know, but I've heard Ed Matthews is a fucking crackhead. Yeah, bit weird. Now we're coming on to the actual interesting cards. We start with Misfits 01. KSI versus not Pina Colada, sorry. That was actually, I shouldn't have said that. It was Pineda versus KSI. Honestly, it's not the GOAT. It was the second boxing event I ever went to. It was the second one I ever went to, and I loved it. I loved that fight card. It was entertaining from top to bottom, but it's on high end of great. It's on high end of great. This one actually might be bumped down a bit. I feel like that fight night was better than this, than that one. Yeah, I really enjoyed that event, but I don't feel like it was the best one. Now, obviously, I'm doing it in order, but the best one has got to be this one. Best one has to be that one. The names alone, but the boxing skill was awful. No one knew what they were doing. No one knew how to. It literally looked like we were watching the first boxing events again. I was like, bro, this is terrible. You know, Dylan Dennis looked like shit. Logan Paul, I'm glad he didn't lose his cool and just try and kill Dylan Dennis, but he just was. It didn't seem like he was frying the shots like he meant them. So and the rest of the card just didn't seem entertaining that much. And it was like, it's skill versus skill. At the end of the day, it's skill versus skill. Obviously, people will go names versus names. KSI versus Jake, that's what they want to see. But does their skill match up? You know, if KSI wants to, like, clinch, can Jake work out of the clinch and deal with that? If he can't, KSI is going to make it a boring fight, clinch, and win. So it's like Tommy Fury and KSI's skill did not match up, and I feel it was a terrible fight. Austin McBroom versus Gibb. Now, this one was bad. Gibb obliterated Austin McBroom. And that ain't like, oh, he just slightly beat. Gibb demolished him. Gibb ate him up. But the event was terrible. The worst event ever run. So it'll be high end or worse because it wasn't good. The only good thing that happened was Gibb beat the shit out of the man that everyone wanted to see get shit beaten out of. And that was it. That's all we had. This is the Jay Swinger versus Churdley's one. So this is Misfits 02. This one I feel like Misfits kind of bumped down from this one. I feel like this one was alright. I feel like Misfits kind of went a little bit down. Not like, oh, it was the worst. The names are terrible. The names are good. All of these fight cards have good names. But I just feel like this one, it's not their worst one. Their worst one, I think, might have been this one. No, sorry, that's not Misfits. This one here. I absolutely hated this one. Not because of the tag team. I really feel like the tag teams, and this is the last man standing one. The last man tag, That one was entertaining. That fight, entertaining. But Swarms could have won. We'll put it... See, I feel like I've done disrespect here. Yeah, we've got to. We've got to. Hold on. We've got to. I feel like it's just disrespect if you don't put that in GOAT. It's got to be GOAT. Did I put that one down? Let me see. Did I put it down? No. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Paul versus Silver. I don't even know. It was a good card. It was good. A lot of these were going all right. You know, it's not bad, but it wasn't like... I can't remember any of the names on it, which I don't mean no disrespect to anyone when I say that, but I just don't really remember anyone's names who were on it. Deji versus Mayweather, I watched that, and Floyd just took too long to come out. Apparently he wanted to change gloves and all this. Deji wasn't perfect on shape and all that. You know, there's so many faults of this card and fight, and it was... I wish there was like an okay section. I guess okay would be an alright, but it would have to be low end of okay, because it wasn't the best. It's a struggle. Then we've got the Dean the Great versus Wily Sharks. Oh, nah, this one is great. That one is so good. That fight, Dean the Great versus Wily Sharks. I do believe that one had Dean the Great versus Wily Sharks too. So good. Those two fights are one of my favourite fights. One of these also has Spartan J on. I can't remember which one had it. He's good, and he's coming back, and he's really good. Tommy versus Jake. Entertaining. I watched the whole card. I think I watched the whole card. I remember Jake versus Tommy. Tommy obviously is the pro boxer. He capitalised on a lot of stuff. Jake wasn't on the right skill level, or maybe just didn't have enough ring IQ to deal with Tommy. But Tommy isn't good. Tommy isn't like... When you compare him to all the pro boxers, he's not anywhere near any of the best ones. He would never come near them. People compare him to his brother, which that's where the issue starts. We'll put this in a good. It's a good card. This one, Misfits 04 or 4 or 5 or something. Oh, this was the tag team. Wait, I didn't put the survival tags. Alright. This one was alright. This one was good. This one was pretty good. No, that one's a lot controversial. A lot of people didn't really like this one. This one doesn't count because it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. The build up, I was hyped. When I saw this card, when I saw the promotion for this card, I was hyped for this fight. Ashley Webb versus Alexia Grace. My God. I was like, there's bad blood here. That's what boxing is. It's bad blood. Settling your differences. And it was like, I cannot wait for it. And then obviously we had the fight on Misfits 10. And it just wasn't that good. Like, I feel like it was a lot closer than what it would have been if they fought on this fight. I believe Ashley Webb would have just demolished her. But, you know, they had, what, a few months rest break after Ashley Webb got put through the table. You know, it was a great build-up, and it even got me a little bit more excited to see it on this one. I feel like that was one of the most exciting fights that was on here. I was excited for KSI versus Tommy to see how KSI would handle a pro, like a really good pro, better than the ones he's fought before. And it's like, when I say really good pro, I mean like the one better than Joe, at least. But, you know, it's levels. There's levels to this. And yeah, I believe that this built up a lot of hype for this fight. KSI versus Temper. We're not doing this in order anymore. KSI versus Temper. Slim versus Tom Zanetti. Now, Slim didn't look too good. Who else was on this one? Good. Temper versus... Oh, is this the fight card where Temper and Kenny got... Was it Kenny as well? Kenny and Temper, I do believe they got their... What's it? They got their comebacks. And I believe... I thought that was quite cool. That was a pretty good card. Pretty good. It was kind of good. Now, the tournaments. I'm going to do both tournaments here. The second one, the tournament was good. The issue is, if you're looking at it as a business standpoint, terrible. Because they went bankrupt after this event. And there was rumours that they were going to go bankrupt before this event. It's just terrible. But But the fights themselves, they were entertaining and pretty good. Skill-wise, though, there's a few guys there that weren't that good. You know, but the issue is I feel like the women performed better than the men. Some of them did. But and then you had the hiccup of the fucking tit show. My God, when that happened, it was terrible. I was sitting there, I was like, I can't wait to see this event. And then one of the women wins and just flashes her tits on the zone. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm not here to see tits. I'm here to watch people fight. When did this happen? April 22nd. Yeah. I wasn't like pissed off or anything. I was like, what the fuck? I was laughing at everything. I was like, that's not what I'm here for, but yeah, they got I feel like that's one reason why the Kingpin tournament also died off. After that, they didn't just ban her from the zone. I feel like they went, we don't want to risk having another tit slip, so we're gonna have to cancel your events. So, because of tit slip, it's an alright event. Low it, I'd say it was better. You know, oh yeah, it's the GOAT. I saw tits. Nah. I feel like that was the worst part about all of these cards, is that it just isn't a good look. I get you're trying to promote your OnlyFans. I don't know if she is OnlyFans. She might be. I get you're trying to promote all that, and I get that you're really happy and excited, but my God, you don't see any pros go, I'm gonna flash my tits. Yeah, it was dicey. But the first Kingpin tournament, Gib versus, who was Gib fighting? He was fighting Austin McBroom, wasn't he? And then Austin McBroom came out with all his excuses, and then after this fight he came out with more excuses, and it's like, nah. This one was better than that one though. This one was better, so we'll put it about there. I feel like Paul versus Silver's a bit low. I feel like this is a bit high. Because remember, I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to go, oh, KSI was on this card. KSI won. KSI beat this guy. I'm trying to think of names, business, and like boxing skills. But this one has to be GOAT because it is the first one. This one was I don't remember what this one was. I really don't remember. I'm going to put it in don't know because I can't remember that one. It probably was one of the better ones and I just can't remember it. There was one that I loved and I can't remember which one it was. Joe Fournier versus KSI. This one was Swarms versus Deji. Swarms versus Deji was actually an entertaining fight. I just wish Swarms didn't back up into a corner every time. I wish Swarms would I wish Swarms knew how to work off the back foot. If Swarms would work off the back foot properly, Deji probably would have lost because Deji kept Swarms on the back foot. But Swarms also knew how to apply the pressure and get back in the centre ring, hold the centre, and apply pressure and force Deji on the back foot. Swarms could have won that. But apart from that, it was a good fight. Good fight. KSI versus Joe Fournier. Obviously, we had the forearm hit. Everyone calls it the elbow, but the elbow actually doesn't land. It's the forearm that lands. JJ throws a hook that was a bit short and pulls through it. And obviously elbows in the head. Jake has done it a fair few times. But people go, oh, well, Jake does it, so why can't KSI? The difference is KSI's one knocked out a man. Obviously, it was an accident. But Jake's one just slightly hurts him a little bit. It doesn't knock him out. And none of their opponents complain except Joe, who complained. Which, fair enough, he got knocked out from it. So, yeah, KSI goes into MMA, just uses elbows. Deadly. Career Clash 2, I don't remember this fight. But I don't believe it was Alex Wasabi versus... Yeah, because I do believe iDubbbz' name's Ian, and I don't think he was that good. I don't think Ian was very good. So I'm going to put this on low end. But the issue is, the cards are good, but it's just skillfully they're not. Like, if we're going skill for all of them, like if we're being strict on their skills, all of them going the worst. Because there's only like one or two people that are actually got the best skill, which is Jake and Spartan J, and you've probably got a few mix of others. Face Sensei, you know, if we're going through all those names, their skills are just unmatched. So JMX versus Le'Veon Bell. I actually found that card quite entertaining, and I enjoyed that fight. JMX versus Le'Veon Bell. After that fight finished, I went, give Logan Paul the contract now. for Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell versus Logan Paul is huge. Give me that fight. I still want that fight to this day. You know, not a lot of people probably do. But after that, I went, yeah, Le'Veon Bell. This one was good. This one was good. I would say it's low end of good. It wasn't like, oh my god, amazing. So guys, that is my tier list. Let me know where you would put things. Let me know why you'd put them there. And let me know which card that I got wrong. Which card did I say had this person, or I had better skill than that one. And yeah, I'll catch you in the new year. We are going to be doing a few more tier lists for the rest of this week. And then starting next year, we're going to go over past cards. And we're going to have a few things just before we go into the new events. We need to make sure all these videos are ready before January 20th, where we have Misfits 012, sorry, and then we've got Sean Strickland versus Dricus Duplessis. But guys, apart from that, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.